horrifying scream in the haunted house. Nick and Jesse, despite trying to stay close to each other for a sense of safety, couldn't shake off the gnawing fear. Jesse stared into the pitch-black void ahead, an inexplicable sense of unease rising within her. Anne, lying by herself, felt the cold seep into her bones. Her eyes were glued to the darkness, her heart pounding in her chest. Every sound around her seemed amplified. The creaking of the wooden floor, the wind whistling through the cracks, all echoing with a haunting resonance. Suddenly, a strange noise came from the corner of the room. It was the sound of metal scraping against metal, grating and horrific. The group jolted upright, and Ash's flashlight beam darted toward the dark corner where the noise had come from. But there was nothing there, just old, dusty objects and a gaping void. "It's probably just the wind," Ash tried to reassure them, though he himself wasn't convinced. Still trembling, Jesse whispered, "We need to get out of here as soon as possible. I don't feel safe." Nick nodded, his eyes filled with resolve. "We'll leave at first light. For now, let's try to rest." But their peace lasted only a moment. From the shattered window, a shadow flickered, fleeting and ghostly. Amanda, who was leaning against Ash, suddenly felt a chill down her spine. "Ash, did you see something outside the window?" she whispered, her voice trembling with fear. Ash shone his flashlight toward the window, but all he saw was the impenetrable blackness. "You must be imagining things. There's nothing there." But the group's eyes remained fixed on the window, tension rippling through the room. They tried to lie down again, but now fear had seeped into every breath. Once more, a strange noise echoed, this time from the hallway. Ash flicked on the flashlight, aiming it into the dark void, but again saw nothing. Nick picked up a rotting wooden stick from the corner, his eyes wary. "Someone's playing with us," he whispered, his voice taut with tension. Anne couldn't take the oppressive, suffocating fear any longer and burst into tears. "I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore." Nick tried to comfort his sister, but he too felt helpless. "We will go home. We'll leave in the morning. Just try to get some rest." But rest was impossible. The noises continued, like heavy footsteps, sometimes near, sometimes far. The group huddled together, the flashlight's dim light flickering across their worried, fearful faces. In the darkness, the man's voice from the cassette tape seemed to echo again, each word like a curse seared into their minds. "There's no way to escape, no way to atone." The wooden house was no longer just a temporary shelter. It had become a nightmarish trap. Every sound, every shadow, was a reminder of the malevolent entity lurking, waiting to devour them. The night was long and dark, and the horror had only just begun. The next morning, as the first light of dawn filtered through the decayed window frames, the group awoke in exhaustion and anxiety. Nick was the first to notice something was wrong. Anne, his sister, was missing. Her sleeping bag lay empty on the cold wooden floor. Nick called out her name in desperation, but there was no response. His calls woke the others, and their eyes were filled with worry and fear. They immediately began searching the wooden house. Amanda checked every room, every hidden corner, but all she found was emptiness and an eerie silence. Ash and Jesse ran outside, hoping Anne had wandered into the forest, but despite searching thoroughly, they found no trace of her. When they returned to the house, their eyes met, filled with panic and helplessness. "Anne can't just vanish without a trace. Something must have happened," Jessie said, her voice trembling. "The curse," Amanda whispered, her eyes wide with fear. "The curse the man on the tape spoke of. It has begun. At that moment, strange, ghostly whispers began to echo around them. The hoarse, raspy voices seemed to come from every direction, chilling them to the bone. The whispers reverberated through the wooden house, their eerie tone filling the air. Amanda felt a shiver run down her spine as she saw a strange figure appear in the corner of the room. It was a dark, shadowy silhouette with an eerie shape, its features indistinguishable. The shadow stood there, staring at them with soulless eyes. "We have to get out of here now," Ash shouted, his eyes wide with fear. But as they tried to leave, the wooden door suddenly slammed shut with an unnatural force, as if an invisible hand was holding it shut. Nick tried to open the door, but it was locked tight from the outside. The sky outside quickly darkened, as if night had suddenly fallen. The whispers grew louder, more distinct. The words, spoken in a strange, haunting language they didn't understand, were filled with ancient curses. In the darkness, they could feel countless, soulless eyes watching them, the whispers and deranged laughter echoing around them. They knew that if they were to survive the night, they had to find a way to break the curse, or accept their fate as its next victims. The group decided they couldn't just sit and wait for death. They split up to search for a way out, even though the thought of separating only heightened their fear. Jesse and Amanda, armed with a flashlight and trembling breaths, entered a dark hallway. The decayed wooden walls and cobwebs thickened the air of unease. Jessie felt each step she took echo in the suffocating silence. As she brushed past a wall, Jessie's fingers touched a strange indentation. She paused, frowning at the crack in the wall. The flashlight revealed something peculiar, as if a hidden mechanism was embedded within. Curious, she pressed against the mark, and suddenly a click sounded, the metallic noise of machinery activating. Before she could react, sharp traps from the ceiling and surrounding walls sprung out with terrifying speed. Blades slashed through the air, slicing through Jessie's body. Her scream pierced the air, filled with agony and terror. Blood splattered, staining the wooden floor, the fresh red mixing with the dirt to create a gruesome scene.